Welcome to Reality After Show. I'm Jonny Fairplay. That's Karen Kuhlman. That's Tristan Nienaber. He's in South Africa. I'm in America. Karen's in Chile. No, you're in America right now, right?
I'm in America right now, but
Okay, but you'll be
I'm
back in Chile.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking Survivor South Africa. Return of the Outcasts at season 9, episodes 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now, did we all get the memo to wear tie-dye today or what? How insane. Unplanned.
Totally unplanned.
So
I saw Karen was wearing a rainbow t-shirt, and I was just like, I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, well, I actually feel like giving a little bit of a shout out to Santoni. She's from Survivor South Africa season 8. I kind of got the buff as well, so the merge buff. So I kind of just thought of that today. So
I had a kindergarten picnic, and I was like, nothing says kindergarten picnic like Dead and Company.
This shirt was clean, and it's my standards while I'm traveling.
I'll tell Santoni it was that.
Yeah. So as long as it's not for Rupert, I wholeheartedly am behind all of this. So all right. So I was kind of a bad boy this week. Not purposely. So I usually do all the Patreon stuff that you can find at realitypatron.com. I usually do that stuff on Mondays with Matt Bischoff. We cover Australian Survivor. We're currently doing Australian Survivor All-Stars. And then we do the weekly Q&A, which is a lot of people's favorite podcast of the week. And but Matt Bischoff got tickets to Anthrax and Black Label Society Monday night, so that pushed everything to Tuesday night. So then I get tickets to Kids Bop Live. I take my 5-year-old.
That sounds so fun.
I get coerced on stage for the Daddy Dance-Off. I finished second. Not too bad.
Ooh.
Always a bridesmaid.
Was it out of 2, though?
No, it was out of 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And the guy that won was in real life at one time a backup dancer for someone. And his song was an MC Hammer song. And he goes, truth be told, when this song came out, I analyzed it frame by frame and learned the entire dance from the video. I was like,
that's epic.
And that's the random song you get. So, and me, I was told I got Jump Around by House of Pain. I'm like, all right, that's cool. No problem. So I go and I have the cadence in my head. Oh no, it's Hip Hop Hooray, which is half speed. And I'm just like, well, this makes no sense mentally. So I just do awkward hand movements. And then I'm like, I'm doing the worm. And I was told afterwards, because like a lot of the voices, like it was based on crowd response. So the adults are, smart, and they pick the actual dancer. So, and their voices are deeper than kids. So, but I was told afterwards by many kids, you should have won. You did the worm.
When all else fails, do the worm.
Do the worm.
Now I know that.
So anyway, so then that pushed everything to Wednesday night for the Patreon stuff. And then Thursday I do the Challenge USA podcast. So last night I'm watching 4 episodes of Survivor South Africa because I couldn't even save one for this morning because I had a 5-year-old picnic.
Oh gosh.
Sounds like a lot of fun. How did it go?
I loved it. I like, it's just a reminder how much I really love what they do in Survivor South Africa. As far as I love 45-minute episodes. I as far as this cast is concerned, I love the casting. I love the twists. The twists have all been great. I love the strategy. Holy moly! So no, and this is how good the cast is. When spoiler, when we an episode that we're going to talk about, not a future, because I don't know. So, but when it looks like Killarney might go home, I was just like, oh no, and I'm like, what am I saying? Why am I saying oh no to Killarney going home?
Yeah, I actually thought of that as well when I finished watching this week, and I stood back and I looked at the people that were left in the game, and I was like, you know what? It's actually a good couple of players that are left in the game.
I did find myself liking Phil less in these 4 episodes. So, but I think it's just like, I'm Team Marian and I'm Team Dino, and I just feel like some of the verbiage he had about both of them, I'm just like, Phil, you were Team Dino, and then out of nowhere we get my number one ride or die is Marian. No one knows it, and I'm just like, we have seen 0 seconds of any of this alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're like not showing it, or if it's one of those things where somebody just like thinks something that's just not at all happening.
I don't know. We'll get to it. So,
I do feel the edits though, like Marian in the beginning of the game kind of seemed a little bit out, uncomfortable, not in her head space, and in her original season, she had full control and she was sneaky, she was funny, she was out there, she was strategic. And we never really got to see that so much in the beginning of the game, but now we're getting this full-blown Marian. Like, this is the Marian that I know from season 5.
But with sympathy.
Yes.
So I mean, like, not I'm not talking about the skin, like she's emotional going into stuff, and in a good way, in that you're just like, let her win, like let her, like as I said, that I got past the skin stuff episode 2. I'm just like, great, she's hot, what's the issue? So, Tony, why you bring this up? Like, 2 episodes in, I'm done. So, but no, like as a sympathetic character, like she. She can give you the waterworks, and it's just like, give that girl whatever she wants. So I'm not sending you $30,000, Marian. Just go win.
Yeah, she may not need it.
Yes,
she may not.
Arjun says, Arjun Kishore says, Marian is the full package. Well, that was the name of the imploded alliance, but they're all imploding because that's what we do on Survivor. So for those of you that caught at the beginning of the episode, I said welcome to Reality After Show. We're doing a huge rebranding. I guess it's halfway started yesterday on the challenge, and I think Alex Rubino leaned in on the Big Brother podcast last night, so I figured let's embrace it here as well. So so look, going forward, we're going to be Reality After Show. You can find, you'll be able to find, as of next week, the links to everything at realityaftershow.com. And so just give us, bear with us. The graphics, the illustrators are done. I'm just waiting on the marketing people to finish with the graphics packages, and then the tech people are making an incredible website right now that I could have as soon as this afternoon or early next week. So so Reality After Show, no major changes, except you'll hear the F word immensely less, and which doesn't affect anyone but me and Matt Bischoff. So. So, but everybody enjoy. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your girlfriend. Don't tell your wife. But anyways, it's episode 17. It's night 27, and this is after the epic Meryl boot, in which Marian is sent to the camp by herself. Meryl, the correct move was to send yourself to camp. But,
I think, yep.
Yeah,
she had the numbers, right? Did she even need to be there, or she thought she had the numbers?
Well, it does. Once again, you're not there, you don't go home, and she she put herself in a position to go home with an idol in her pocket, staying there for no reason, and all Marian's doing is like practicing her celebratory dances. She's doing dance moves before the rest of the tribe. It's just like, do we do the spin first, or do we do a couple kicks? And it's just like, you know what? Let me just do it all, because tonight's a big night, and it's all me. So yeah, and this is that character that you were talking about earlier, Tristan. This is the Marian that we saw last season. That's bringing that character back, and not the character that we saw the first few episodes of the game. But I really felt helped build, like, as Arjun says, and definitely a play on words with the alliance. She is a full package. I mean, I think there's people that didn't like her the first time around. It's just like, oh my God, do I love Marian now? And then the people that loved her before, it's just like, okay, I like this Marian, but I like the other Marian. It's like, oh, they're all one. So I think it's great. I mean, good for Marian to bring such a complete reality star to us to watch.
Yeah, I wonder about people if they didn't like Marian at this point, because she's just a very complex character, and that's what I want.
Yeah, I want a complex. I want not every. I want my major characters to be complex characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, like a good bad guy isn't a bad guy just because he's bad. A good bad guy is bad because his moral compass is skewed and he thinks he's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's a good bad guy, and that's a complex character.
Mm-hmm.
The anti-hero or anti-villain. Which one is it? Anti-hero.
Maybe both or maybe neither. So, I mean, like Thanos. Like Thanos is one of my favorite bad guys of all time. And all he wants to do is destroy half the population in the universe. Why? Because if we get rid of half, then there's no overcrowding, there's no starvation, there's none of these things. He thinks he's a good person by doing that. And, technically, I guess he is. But, if you look how that happens, it's like, yeah, but you have to kill half the people. That makes you bad. Really bad. So like that's a great character. So versus, I just want to do bad stuff. Why? I don't know. I'm stupid. That's a horrible character.
I've never actually thought of it that way. Like when you think of Survivor and Marvel characters put together, like you get the Thanos, you get the person.
Well, I'm Loki.
You are the Prince of Evil.
I think Heavy.com did who the Marvel equivalent was. So I got shocking. Like I knew it in my heart of hearts, but I got Loki, and I'm just like, you are correct. I am the god of mischief, and don't forget, I am a god.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. So Marian is very happy that Meryl is got the boot, and she's celebrating, but don't celebrate too much, Marian, because this was all Killarney's move. Every bit of it. And we later learn not only is the Meryl boot all hers, so is the Steffi boot.
Yep. Killarney is just fire these episodes. It was all her plan.
Well, I mean, we saw evidence of that in which they tell her the vote right before tribal.
I don't want to see her in the final two because that speech is going to be so cringy. She's going to believe it, and it's just going to be like, oh.
You know what? I can almost live with Killarney in the final two just
because you want to see that.
Just for the cringe factor.
That's evil. That is so evil.
Yeah. I'm a purist. I love final two, but if we have Killarney, I wish if she's in the finals. I would have preferred a final three. Because I want the cringe moments, but I want the two people that really deserve a shot to be there.
Like, what if it's Shane and Killarney in the final two?
Oh my god! No. Well, Shane is responsible for so many moves. He's got his finger on the pulse of the tribe.
I think if we end up with Shane and Killarney in the final two, that's a reason to just ban final twos. Because the season is so amazing.
It's Shane. For the record, Shane has correctly guessed the boot 1 out of 5 times. So, I mean,
he's so good.
It's not the worst. In baseball, you could keep your job. It's like what, a 2? No, maybe not. 200 batting average. You need a little bit more. Okay, so if he's guessing. Yeah, he needs to bump that up. Okay, if he were to be correct on 1 out of 3, which is still horrific. Okay,
yeah,
let's just say he's correct on 1 out of 3. That's a 333 batting average. You're keeping your job in Major League Baseball.
It's a pass.
No, 333. That's a good average. Like 280, I think is a good average in baseball.
I don't know baseball.
I know nothing about baseball.
Okay. Yeah. If you hit the ball 1 out of every 3 times, you're very good at baseball. So most guys shoot for 1 out of 4.
Huh.
So
I need to try baseball.
But Shane is 1 out of 5, but knows everything going on.
But what about Killarney?
Until the votes are read. Correctly? What's up?
Does Killarney usually vote correctly?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Killarney's one they tell last minute. Like they tell Shane last minute who if it's a split vote, they give him the one that they don't really want to go, but they need the number there. So Shane gets that name, and then Killarney gets the one that goes.
I see Arjun has put in the comments, Killarney is the Durao of the season. So basically Durao in season 7 was the goat that they took right to the end. He also didn't know anything. The only time he knew something was at tribal council. They would whisper in his ear, Durao, vote this person. He doesn't know
they
why.
wouldn't even tell him right before tribal. They're like, it's like, when are you going to tell him? It's just like right before the vote in tribal.
Even Nico was ahead of Durao. He didn't know what was going on. So when Nico was asking Durao questions, Durao was just like, I don't know.
I don't know. As I said, I'm not.
Killarney's hiding it well though. She does stand her ground a little bit more, and she says, "Yes, this was my move."
Yeah. Yes, she looks to make sure no one's correcting her, and then makes eye contact. Go, see, you didn't hear production laugh this time. And they're like, no, they're laughing. We are. They're literally laughing.
Does production ever laugh like during confessionals when people say something ridiculous, or are they pretty good at just like?
I would try to pop the producer or the camera guy or whatever. So like I would say something just ridiculous, to try to pop them to, so like they do that in wrestling a lot. They loved, I mean, like not so much on television, but like if they're like at a house show, it's not televised, like the good guy, like rub his nipples or something in front of the bad guy or grab his butt or something. And you'll see the bad guy just like roll his, like, it's just like, stop it. You're messing up everything. But it's fun. So, but yeah, I would try. I popped, I can't remember if it was producer or camera guy, sound guy, or all three, but I popped production a few times. So, but I would imagine like Philip Shepard probably said some stuff. They're just like, holy moly. And this guy really believes it. And they might, even if he did pop them, like, they giggled or whatever, he probably didn't catch it.
Yeah. I think people who are that like unaware probably wouldn't even pick up on that.
Like if I was in production and Angelina from David vs. Goliath was saying her, like, I would have popped, but I don't think Angelina would have caught it. David says Dara. I mean, like Dara has one of the best confessionals ever, I think, because it's about me. So I why wouldn't I think this? But Dara goes, Johnny lies. Johnny never tells the truth. Johnny's a snake, but I believe him. Just like, also because production's like, sweetie, did you hear the first 3 sentences you said? You were onto something. Just like, nope, he tells the truth sometimes, very little. This is the one. So, all right. So the next morning, it is an early reward day. And so everyone's like, man, it is too early. That means he's long, or the reward's going to be really long, or maybe potentially both. And it's got to be the loved one's visit. And I'm just like, we're still on the cusp of COVID. We'll see how loved ones it really is. So, but prior to this, we get a Killarney backstory, and Killarney explains that her mom and partner died 2 months prior to filming. And it's just like, stop making me care about Killarney.
And if there's something I have to say that's really nice about Killarney is, like, even though she might not know what's going on in the game, like with everyone's votes or claiming that it's her move, the way she's kept herself together is absolutely phenomenal. And that no one knows. I mean, she said it was months prior before she went on the island.
Two,
right?
Yeah.
Both within 2 months of filming. So,
Like,
and she was an alternate. Like she wasn't, like, I don't even know, like, if it was an alternate, like, you're on the list the entire time and then we'll let you know, or if it's we had these people that didn't work out, you were a last minute call.
I mean, and
so to be able to mentally go there.
And she's made it this far. you know, and how has she not broken down once in almost, well, now over a month?
Yeah.
She's been on this island, no food, no bed, no, she's with people she doesn't know or like, and she doesn't know what's going on. And she hasn't cried or break down once. So it's
Taejon is literally insane at this point. Literally. and all he does, all that's really going on with him is he misses his dogs and food. Nothing more.
He spoke to his dog more than to the person.
Oh my God,
very much so.
I love that he loves his dog, though.
See, we'll get there. But no, Killarney lost the two most important people in her entire life, and she's got it much more together than Taejon, who is only worried about dogs and food. And potentially dog food to make sure that his dogs have enough, because he's not there to feed them. So it's time for the challenge. They show up. Taejon has a new staff of power. Holy moly. Is Taejon the Philip Shepherd of South African Survivor?
Is he the who of Survivor?
The Philip Shepherd.
Pretty much.
I think so.
He's the Papa Smurf, as he said.
He wasn't like that in his first season, though, was he?
No, he was very mysterious, dark, and you don't know what his next move was going to be. You know?
Well, that part hasn't changed. But that would be him describing himself.
I think he did play, like, as far as he did, he played a really good game. He still kept everyone in his corner, and he didn't manage to get voted out, even with him losing his mind a bit. I think if I was in the show, and I saw someone kind of losing their mind, I would kind of want to sweep them out. So I don't know. Maybe it's good to keep them in. Maybe the survivors kind of changed, where you keep the people that don't know what's going on, so that you can just kind of whisper things in their ear, so that it's easier.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a loose cannon. You don't know where he's going to go.
No. And truth be told, do you really want Taejon as your number one? Because, like, Taejon was under the impression that Felix was his number one. And I think it was based on a 15-second conversation. And as a result, the entire challenge, Taejon is vocally rooting for Felix to the point of absolute annoyance. So, like, if I'm Felix, I'm just like, okay, we're not in an alliance anymore. I can't take it. You've given me a headache. Everyone else is. No one wants to hear my name. like people want to vote me out just so they don't hear my name anymore. You've literally said my name 1,200 times in 25 minutes. So, yes. Taejon! He'll be here all week, folks. Nope, actually, he won't. All right, so this challenge. What's that?
There's like so Mnet, which is basically like a channel in South Africa, has when you get voted out, they've got the exit videos when they've just walked out of being voted out, and then they in the car and they get to see themselves for the first time, and then they show their Ponderosa, which is like obviously there where everyone else in the jury is, and they all get together.
Sure.
And in Taejon's exit, when he saw himself for the first time, he was wearing his purple raincoat and he had his beard, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, I look like Papa Smurf."
Oh.
So he's the Papa Smurf of the season.
Well, see, we had a Papa Smurf in U.S. Survivor, and get ready if you're a patron. Go to realitypatron.com. It's either next month or the month after that. Papa Smurf is one of the autograph pictures that you get. So, yeah, I think this month is, what is this month? I want to say it's like 8x10 pics of me and Matt Bischoff, which is a rarity. Usually they're 4x6, but yeah, big 8x10 autograph pics. Anyway, so this challenge is lattice work, walk through, and spell return the outcast. This is for reward. The reward is a meal, a video call to a loved one, and an advantage in the immunity challenge. I'm a firm believer that this challenge, and we've seen many incarnations of it multiple times in Australian Survivor. I believe we've also seen it in U.S. Survivor, or a variation thereof. This is a very cheap version of what we've seen before, but I'm for it. Like, talking to Dino is just like, Fairplay, he goes, "You really like Survivor South Africa?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's just like, "But the challenges suck though, right?" And I'm just like, I don't care about challenge. Like, if I wasn't doing a podcast I will say that prior to doing a podcast, I fast forwarded through every challenge ever in the history of Survivor. Did not care. Even the seasons I was on, did not care. Fast forward through the challenge unless I saw somebody hit their nuts on something. Don't care.
I usually check my phone during the challenges. It's not interesting to me unless there's something different about it or
don't care.
anything.
So, and then US Survivor, every challenge now is over something, under something in a puzzle. It's we get it. We don't care.
Exactly.
It's the same challenge. So so I explained to Dina, if they literally every challenge was pick a rock and whoever gets the right rock, you have immunity. That's all a challenge is really doing. I don't care.
You could eliminate all the physical challenges and just them pick rocks.
Nico has a number behind his back. First one he gets has immunity. I mean, honestly, I do not care. So he's just does it bother you? I'm just no, it's honestly, at least it's different than over something, under something in a puzzle.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm a firm believer in this challenge. Speedo is your outfit of choice. So Marian isn't in last place, but I feel her jumpsuit definitely worked against her.
Yeah.
So, Matt Bischoff, he's a big fan of the board shorts, and I'm just when we have this challenge right here, I'm going to be in my Speedo, you're going to be in your board shorts, and I'm winning because I'm in my Speedo. And you know who else is winning? The viewers.
There you go.
You're welcome.
I don't think nobody left has a Speedo, right?
Nope.
But
that's what they should have packed.
Well, that's why they should have kept Dante longer.
No. Oh, my God. I was ready to kill Dante at the end of episode 20. Oh, my God.
Oh, me too. I was
Dante.
they need to escort him off the premises.
Yeah. Sir.
Voted off the jury.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would like an official ruling on this, but I do know, I do have confirmation on, I know for a fact in US Survivor, you can't say nothing. So, I mean, that is a ridiculous, you shut up. That you're voted out, you don't get to talk. Okay. And I know on Australian Survivor, we interviewed Sam and Mark and Jesse. We talked. But Sam really explained that the jury was communicating to the remaining players that Sam did in fact still have an idol.
Wow.
And she called BS on it. So, and she said it was not Jesse that was saying it to, basically yelling across to the tribe. So she confronted production. They're just yeah, well, we told him not to. It's that's not how that works.
Here's a fun question.
Yeah.
What do you think of Sam and Tony? Do you think they look alike?
I see the similarity.
Gameplay wise as well?
I haven't seen enough of Tony. I would like to go back and watch Tony's first season.
Okay.
Before because
I think
the maturation process of Sam is fast. I mean, incredible. Mark is one of the most amazing second time players ever in the history of the game ever. So, but I feel like Sam is right there. I felt early her social game is better than Mark's.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Sam's first season because I don't really remember much.
She just fell in love and they isolated themselves.
But I think comparing Sam's most recent season to Tony's, I think Tony's socially messier.
Yeah,
but Sam gets messy.
That is true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Now they both get a bit messy, and they both look like each other. They both have similar gameplays. And Tony in season 6 was also emotional Tony, and the reason why she was emotional Tony was because when they were on their own Mindanao tribes, that's why they've got matching tattoos of Tevin, PK, and Tony, is because they had to work so close with each other because they had to keep going to tribal after tribal after tribal until it was only Tony and PK left in the tribe. And they were eating ripe coconuts and they were having diarrhea. They didn't have any food. It was just the both of them. They didn't have any fire. They were crying. Tony was saying that she just doesn't want to be there at that moment. It was so much, and I could see why, because there was 2 left in the tribe. They have to keep going to tribal. It works on your brain mentally, and having too many, not even winning rewards or anything. You're only winning eating like overripe coconuts that are making you have diarrhea. I mean, when they announced merge, it was good to see it. The camera literally showed Tony the whole time because she was just so stoked that she made merge.
Oh, and she has bad tattoos. Tony, I love you. All right. I may or may not answer this. Darian Harris, it's not because of you, Darian, but Darian Harris in the chat room says someone needs to ask Dino what he did to Dante because of his dislike of Dino is unnatural for a game. All right, did I tell the story of what all Dino attempted to do to win over Dante last week? Did I say or no? Like the offering half his food and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So Darian, if you didn't listen, go check out last week's podcast. Dino did everything in the world. I basically promised his firstborn child to Dante, and Dante's like, no. So this guy just has tunnel vision for Dino, will not let it go. I would not meet Dante in a dark alley to just hang out after the game if I'm Dino. Just friendly advice.
That's why he's dodgy Dino.
Yeah, I would not. I would not go on a hunting expedition with Dante if I were Dino. Stand here. Don't move. Trust me, in a few minutes you won't. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's everyone else's listening to Dante, because Dante's like, get Dino out from as far as we can remember. And everyone's just like, no, not now. No, not now. No, not now. And then all of a sudden Dante gets voted out. And then he's still wanting Dino out. So that's why he's mouthing, vote him out. And no one listens. And then he makes it further. No one's listening to him. So it makes him angrier.
They've continued to not listen. I like that the majority of who he's yelling essentially at the end of episode 20 to vote him out is they're the ones working with Dino at this point.
Yeah, he was. I couldn't understand like who he was.
Arjun says, "Did Dante push Dino into the fire?" I would love a slow motion recap of Dino going in the fire, and I would like an alibi for Dante at that time.
This knocked me out. This comment, I love it.
Oh, it's unhealthy, right?
It's a bit weird that he's still obsessed about it.
Yeah, like this is like.
Can we get Dante on to talk about this?
I mean, he does podcasts.
He is. Oh, I found his podcast. And Tristan, can you verify? Is his name actually Rudolph?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel cheated that we haven't had a player named Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Oh yeah, Rudolph Dante.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Oh yeah, I am not following him. I'll go ahead and follow him, and I'll shoot him a message.
Jen, he's gonna like it.
Hi, Dante. That's it. I don't want to reveal my cards.
I bet he doesn't watch us.
Oh, he watches us.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. The ones that hate you the most are the ones that watch the most. Oh God, yes. So yeah, no. Ben didn't like me for a while and did not miss a podcast. And like, and he's just like, I didn't know what a podcast was until you. I was like, you like it? He goes, I watch. So, all right. So yeah. So Phil wins, and everyone. Felix says, of course he won. Phil's got short shorts and the feet the size of Felix's kid. So once again, theory proves correct. Speedo wins this challenge. Who has the shortest shorts of anyone doing this challenge? Phil. You're welcome. My theory is proven. All right. So Phil has the opportunity. It's what we call a moral dilemma in the world of Survivor. He can take two people and give up the advantage. And Shane's like, don't worry about it. I ain't got no one. And it's like, we know, Shane. We know.
He just wants the chow.
Yeah. but it's no secret that he has no loved one. Just imagine if Shane did go and they're like, yeah, they're not picking up. We called. They don't pick up block numbers.
That's a low blow.
I do wonder, like, do most people are most people never separated from their loved ones? Because I have never had anybody in my whole life that I haven't been separated from for months at a time at some point in my life. So it's like, doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
No, a lot of people think that, and I thought that going into it because, like, I would watch the Loved Ones Challenge. I'd never seen the show before I was cast, and like I binged it, and watched every season twice and all that, and analyzed it. And I'm just like, I was just like, wow, this Loved Ones thing makes me cry. I'm just like, but there's no way I would cry out there because, why would you? Blah blah blah. And here's what you don't get, and here's what I didn't get, and here's what most people don't get. It's not that you miss that person so much or you haven't seen them for 20 days or 25 days or 30 days, whatever it is. That's not why you're crying. The game of Survivor is a mind screw in that, like, say Tristan is my number one ride or die. I have no alliance stronger in the game of Australian Survivor or in the game of South African Survivor other than Tristan. And
that was amazing. Say it again.
And Karen, you don't like me out there, okay? So every day I wake up and I go, okay, Karen doesn't like me. I can live with that. It sucks, but I know this to be a fact. Tristan, my number one ride or die, no matter how much I trust him, he still sees R1,000,000 written across my forehead. And you cannot take that out of your head. So it's just like, no matter, like, he promised me, he swore to me, he will never screw me. I'll never screw him over. But can I really believe that? Because I have R1,000,000 written across my forehead. He has R1,000,000 written across his forehead. So when your loved one shows up, that person you can trust. That's why you cry. Wow. It's the only person in 30 days that will not screw you over.
Wow.
So most people don't think about that.
Yeah. That's why I like to hear about it. Like,
yeah.
So I haven't done it.
Me personally, I think out of the whole Survivor, the reason why I'm absolutely obsessed with Survivor is because you get taken away from everything.
Yeah.
Everything you get taken away from. And like you said, Jonny, you're with people that just you can't trust, and you going to bed at night and you're dreaming of numbers, you're dreaming of people backstabbing you, and you just see that person come around the corner and you know them, and it's like everything good comes back to you, and you just get all these overwhelming memories of why you trust and love this person, and they cry and they fall to their knees, and it's the best. I don't know. So that, for me, Loved One Visit is my favorite episode.
Yeah, I love it. So I mean, like out on Pro Islands, like I'm just like, I won't, like, even though I'd already voted him out earlier in the game, I'm just like, I will never vote out Burton again. And I'm just like, does he believe me? Like, I'm just like, I'll never vote you out again. Like, where does he compartmentalize that? It's just like, oh, it's really great that you won't do it again, even though I shouldn't still have a shot at playing because you chose to send me home last time. So, yeah, it's tough. So, but yeah, that's why the loved ones thing is so emotional for the individual people. It's someone that will not screw you over. Well, someone that will not screw you over in the next few days for R1,000,000. So that loved one might screw you over after the fact when you get home with that money. I had a guy. I guess I can tell the story. A buddy of mine. He's a wrestler, Shark Boy. And Shark Boy, he wore a mask and it had fake teeth and he fake bites you on the butt, and so Shark Boy's great. So anyway, Miramax made a movie, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Well, they never checked to see if someone owned the name Shark Boy. And guess what? Shark Boy owns the name Shark Boy. So he sued Miramax and won a lot of money. And then his wife left him with all of that money.
Wow.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep. So, oh well. So yeah. So R1,000,000. Even the loved one that comes out there, they might not get you in the next 9 days,
but maybe later.
Yes, but maybe later.
Water.
Yeah. So everyone tells Phil to go, enjoy the advantage, and that's kind of them. And so Tajon goes, not so fast. I have the outsurance thing. He goes, do I get food too? And he goes, yes, you do. He goes, do I get the phone call home? And they're like, yes, you do. He goes, do I get the advantage? He goes, yes, you do. And Phil's like, this sucks. He's like, I was gonna take Tajon. I'm like, sure would you have? No. So, I really like Phil's been so amazing at confessionals. I really wish it was funny that he said this sucks. But I think it would have been funnier just like I would have taken Tajon. Well, maybe. Well, probably, sorta. Who knows? like if you had kept explaining, basically let the viewer know, no, I was never gonna take Tajon, and you all know this.
One thing I was wondering is, all right, say that you do give up your reward. How much does that really affect? I just feel like it doesn't have that much effect on the game, like with the jury and everything. What do you think?
What?
Like, had Phil given his reward up so other people could eat?
It could work either way. It depends on who's there. It could have gone really well, and it could have literally been like, oh, Phil's like the hero of the challenge, and he gave it away, and that's great. And then
they could have used it against him. It's just like, oh, Phil's got too much momentum. Everyone loves Phil. We got to get rid of Phil. So
yeah.
I think everyone was kind enough in that they didn't make him make that decision. They're just like, no, you take it, you earned it, you enjoy it. And because I think secretly, I think plenty of them were just like, I wouldn't want to give this away if that were me. And so and plus, if he takes me, there's going to be people that go and people that don't go. And then you're potentially creating new alliances. I think everyone there was happy with everything they had going at that moment in time. They're just like, we're not going to allow this reward to screw that up.
Yeah.
So I think everyone selfishly said no because they didn't want to screw. Whereas you could tell Dino was like, wouldn't be bad to talk to my fiance. Just throwing it out there. Also kind of hungry.
Did you see the status he had on Instagram? It was him standing like this, and then it said when the man when there's a Karen and they need to speak to the manager.
Yeah.
He was demanding to speak to his fiance.
Yeah.
It was a good meme. All the Survivor castaways this season are living for memes.
Oh yeah,
everyone's creating them. I don't know if you've seen a bunch on Instagram.
I saw the Marian at the TSA thing. That's a good one. So Tajon explains that Tajon wants the final three to be himself, Felix and Phil. And Phil said that he wants Dino to go next. And I'm just like, what is happening right now? Why are you ruining a good television show, Phil? Remember when Tajon sucked and you guys had the No BS Alliance that was funny? Yeah, this isn't part of that script. This is horrible. It's like you have a really good show, and say you had the show Friends. Friends is a good show, and then you have the spinoff Joey. That's not a good show. Okay, well, Phil and Tajon, that's Joey.
That's such a good way to put it down.
Ugh. So we see the non Joey alliance of everyone else, and Marian and Killarney, they want Tajon out next, and I'm just like, this is the show I want to watch. So Shane, Dino, and Marian want the best at the end. And I'm just like, I want this too. Shane, you're not included, but I love that you're on board for this theory. So we see Phil with his loved one visit. Phil's family cries. I cry. Phil explains his heart is full. And I'm like, oh, fast forward to Tajon. He's excited about the dogs and nothing else. He's like, oh, there's my kid. Hey, kid, yeah. Can you hold up the dog?
Show the dog again.
You.
The dog's in the way. Can you move the human being, please?
Yes. So, yes. Marian tells Dino that Felix is coming after him. This is a little dirty on Marian's part. I'm for it. Sorry, I like you both, but I love chicanery. Felix wants Marian out so that Dino can go next, because if Marian's there, she's going to protect Dino. Felix is correct. And then it's time for the Blockhead Immunity Challenge, and Phil and Dino have the advantage. Why? Because they have many afros, but Phil and Tajon have a 5-minute advantage that really amounts to nothing for Tajon because he does not have a mini afro, and he is out seconds later. I also noticed during this challenge that Killarney and Felix are rocking Skechers. Tristan, are Skechers cool in South Africa?
They are actually in gyms.
Nope.
People wear them all the time.
Nope, they are not. That was a trick question.
CrossFit people wear them. I don't wear them, but I've seen people do.
Nope. You're welcome for the intel. So. Also, goatees, not cool. All right, unless you're Doctor Strange or Tony Stark.
Yes, I have to agree with that.
Yes. Okay, episode 18. We see the end of the challenge. Phil wins again.
Chaka.
All right, I'm cool with that. Dad bod Phil, way to go. Also, as the t-shirt says, he puts out, that's what makes you a dad, and contributes to the dad bod. Marian wants Felix out next. Whoa. Okay. Phil finds an idle clue with Killarney and Felix. Not happy that this happens in front of Felix. Very unhappy this happens in front of Killarney, and that does come back to bite him. Well, kind of, sort of. So it's here where we learn that Killarney is responsible for the Steffi and Meryl blindsides. And Killarney then tells Dino about Phil finding the idle clue. And I'm just like, do I now love Killarney? Because I feel like I do.
The edits make us feel like we know people. Like in their confessional, it's a real conversation that they're having with us, and they pull out the real heartstring part of their conversation that they have with their confessionals, and they give us all the juicy bits.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a cast where, at least where we are right now, everybody's giving out really good confessionals.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and as I said, even if they're oblivious, doesn't matter. Still
great TV. Like Killarney, I'm responsible for these blindsides.
Yeah.
And like I know what's going on. Shane thinking he's in control. Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Tajon. So, let's see. Killarney tells Marian as well about Phil finding the idle clue. And so Marian just calls out Phil because that's what Marian does. And he was like, yeah, it's an outpost. And she was like, yeah, so Phil is lying. Okay. So Marian is very much playing Sandra Diaz Twine right here, and she's doing a very good job of it. So Phil finally tells Dino, only because he can't find it. And I thought it was pretty obvious reading the clue. I can just like the sign is the tribe sign. And the stairs is the stairs to the camp, and middle of the stairs is in the middle of the stairs, and that's where he finds it. So where, like, it was like he was just like, it must be some kind of riddle, and I'm like, no, it's walk past the sign, go up the stairs, in the middle of the exact middle of the stairs, it's there.
I can just imagine how he was in camp. Like everyone's just watching him, and he's standing on the top of the stairs with his hands on his hips, walks down the stairs, then looks back, then goes back up again. It's like, what's this guy looking for exactly?
So yeah,
it's so cryptic.
Darian Harris says Phil has switched to Mr. Hyde. Yeah, as this isn't the episodes 1 through 16. Phil is much more likable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I think it's just like whenever he, like, if anybody's coming for Dino, I don't like them anymore.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. So
because there was a while where I don't think that Marian was really on the Dino train. She was aligned with people who were.
I wasn't loving her as much.
Me neither.
Yeah,
but she is fully back in my heart.
Yeah. True.
I need to ask Dino serious questions, because from the beginning of the game, even in his original season, everyone's just like, we need to get rid of Dino. Dino's just too much. We need to get rid of him. And then it was the same this season. Everyone's like, get Dino out. He's too good. He's too great. And it's like, but why? What did Dino do that made everyone want to vote him out? And then the biggest question for this season is, how did he make it so far with everyone wanting him out? It's
And
crazy.
they're not even really throwing his name around this week.
No.
Like every episode, like a couple times people are like, yeah, we should probably get Dino out soon. But then they just immediately think of, no, Felix is a bigger threat.
Yeah, 2 sentences later, it's anyone but Dino.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, no, it's
It's
impressive.
great, and I love it. I love a player that can just somehow avoid it.
Yeah. Arjun says in his first season, Dino was a chaotic mess. And Dino is self-described much worse than that. I mean, like, I learned just like, I was like, yeah, Luke Tuggy says you're, to root for you, you're great. He's just like, oh no. I'm horrible. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah.
I can't wait to watch that season.
All right, so Dino Phil finally tells Dino. Dino thinks that Phil has the idol, and that's the only reason he told him about it, which isn't true. And Phil says the best play is Tajon, but Felix doesn't get it, and Phil, So Phil is explaining to Tajon, Phil is explaining to Felix and Dino, the No BS Alliance, that look, the best play is Tajon, and Felix is like, I don't get it, and Phil essentially says, screw your thoughts. Tajon is the correct vote. Like, we're good players. Yes, I secretly want to take a goat to the end, but I'm not going to say that in front of you guys. Like, if I try to get rid of a bad player, or try to get rid of a good player, leave these bad players here, they're going to pick off one of us. And I would rather go one step further with you guys, one more vote, than have one of these idiots take me out that doesn't deserve to be there, even though I don't want any of you else there with me. So it's quite the internal and external battle here. So, but he's right. I mean, like, I think we learned from the jury that Dino is really well liked, and I can't imagine that Marian's not really well liked as well. But Phil's resume is ridiculously strong at this point. I mean,
I think Phil's like quite likable as well.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think the jury knows how much they like him, and I think Phil could explain to them how much they like him, and they would be like, you're right, we do. We didn't even think about that. Dino didn't do anything.
I was just about to say the exact same phrase that you just said now. I think it's Phil's playing the game strong and in a way that no one can see that. And like you said, like, I feel like final tribal council, if he gets there and he puts everything down on black and white and says exactly X, Y, and Z.
It makes him laugh.
Yeah, it makes him laugh because
makes him laugh while he does it.
Yeah. I want to know what type of final speech Shane has planned, because apparently it's really good, and it would
he could beat Killarney with it.
I think so.
I have a final speech that can beat Killarney too. I'm gonna read the back of this headphone box. Specification: drive unit, 16 millimeter, high performance. Is that good? Did I beat Killarney? I feel like I did.
Amazing. You did so well.
Thank you. I have more. I could go on for hours. So you don't have to charge them. So here's my question / argument. I don't even know. Like it's multifaceted. If you're out there and say we are Dino, Marian, and Phil, don't we feel strong enough in our individual games that it's like, if the three of us work together, we can make the final three, no problem. There's no one, like, if we're together collectively, we run the tables. No one has anything on us three. I'm secure in the game I'm playing. I think your resume is right. Like, we have a 1 in 3 shot at 2 million rand. Isn't that a safer bet than trying to make this move here, and then you have someone you have a Tajon and a Killarney going, let's flip a coin and see who goes home. I mean, it's like, no, like we use logic. So, and plus, like these people, it sounds like these people love the game and respect the game so much. You can't take a goat to the end, right?
No, and this is, I actually have a question for Karen. Do you feel, because we played an online season together, right? Now, do you see what I'm seeing here? I'm Dino, Vanner is Phil, and you Marian, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the same story going on. So I feel like while I'm watching it on the TV, it felt like deja vu for me, because it was, who do we take to the end? And do we take the good people or do we take goats? So
Right. Yeah, because there were goats leading up to that.
I love a battle of the good people. I'm not scared to let's have a dance off.
And our season, and our online season ended off with Karen winning. So maybe Marian.
Yeah.
And that's also another point is in our season, I think everybody thought Tristan was going to win. Tristan can't get to the end because he's going to win. Even I kind of believed that in a way, but you can't predict who's going to win because not everybody does well at the final tribal. Some people do better than expected at the final tribal. You just can't always say there's no way. Or if this person gets to the end, they're definitely winning, because they can bomb that final tribal speech and somebody else comes in from behind and just snatches the win.
Right.
We've seen
happens all the time.
So many people in the history of Survivor bomb a final jury speech. You're just like, what? Like Sharn, who for a living argues for herself and others, and it's just like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah. I mean, we see it almost every season. I thought Mike in 42, Xander 41.
I was just about to say Xander.
Oh yeah, he's
knew up that. Wow, no trouble.
I think they both had potentially winning games, but the final speech was just.
Well, what I was told about Xander is they just saw him as a kid. He could have the most eloquent, amazing speech ever. It's just like, yeah, you're still a kid. You're just using big words.
Was he 20 or something?
Yep. But it's not stopping Andrea.
Oh my! She's older than me, I think.
I think she's older than me. She basically Xander and Andrea's relationship is in my browser history. just the parameters that make them. It's on the private browsing history, which I don't even think there is one. But anyway, so Phil finally finds the idol clue in the middle of the stairs where we thought it would be, but Shane sees him find it. And then Marian and Dino both know Phil doesn't want to sit with them. And I'm like, okay, you figured this out. What are we going to do? But don't get rid of Phil. So Shane then tells Tajon the Felix vote. And then Dino tells Tajon the Felix vote. And I'm like, good. Okay. This wild card is not going to screw up anything. Tajon runs to Felix. I'm like, what are you doing?
His number one, ride or die.
His number one. And then Tajon decides to make a fake idol. And so it's time for tribal. And Felix calls out the goats. He was just like, you know what? I'm going to blow up. I'm going to Donathan truth bomb this thing. I'm going to blow up some spots. I'm going to call up some goats. And he's like, and Tajon, I'm looking at you. And Tajon goes, I'm perceived as a goat, but I'm not. And it's like, well, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. So Marian and Dino pretty much talking throughout the entire tribal. Tajon shows everyone his fake idol. It doesn't appear as anyone buys it except for Phil. Come on, Phil, be better, do better. So then it's like, hold on, before we go to tribal, Felix is like, I would like to throw Tajon under the bus just a few more times before we vote. And Tajon goes, give some examples. And Felix goes, it's not necessary. Just look at everything you've done this entire game. Those are all the examples that anyone needs. I was like, holy smokes.
I like Felix.
I do too.
So cool.
So time to vote. Phil finds the idol. Dino writes Felix. I'm like, uh-oh. Tajon goes to play the idol, but then turns around really fast because he got the reaction he needed, and he's going to save it for the next vote, which gets an eye roll from me and I think everyone else, and he is voted out. And Tajon goes, now I can eat. And I'm like, and now I can enjoy the episodes more. But I will say this. I enjoyed Tajon being there. He's like a guilty pleasure. He's Philip Shepard.
He added an element to the game where it was like, if Tajon wasn't there, what would it be?
Yeah.
Kind of just, he was the salt to the food. The food is there. You just added the flavor.
And sometimes you can have too much salt and it ruins it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. Also, I was thinking about how, like, had Thariso voted for Felix early in the game, how different would this be right now? Because, like, I'm really fully enjoying Felix's part in all this, and his confessionals are funny and everything.
He's making the game look so much fun. Like during challenges, Nico's busy telling him, don't laugh. At Travel, he's busy asking him, why is he laughing? Does he know what's going on? No, he doesn't know what's going on. Then he's laughing. He looks like he's just having the best time.
He is. So much like Tajon's head, very smooth. And you know what else can be smooth? Your balls. We're going to get a quick word from Manscaped. And if I don't make it back in time, I really have to pee. So you guys continue. It's time for a word from our sponsors, Manscaped. Support for Reality After Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. That's right, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 12 million balls.
The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight that you need for a more precise shave.
Now, I have a dark shower curtain in my bathroom, and I've been looking for the perfect way to shave in the dark, kinda. Guess what? I found it, 4000K LED. No longer a problem. I got perfectly smooth, clean balls thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SURVIVOR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Thanks for sticking with us through the ad break. And don't forget, for more exclusive Reality After Show coverage, visit realitypatron.com. That's reality, Patron.com.
All right. We are back, and apparently Jonny is not done yet. All right.
He's busy manscaping.
He is busy manscaping, yes. So, all right. I guess we move into our next episode, or we lose Tajon. Okay. My question about this, did Shane mean to vote out Tajon, or was he just like, was there just confusion? Because I feel like Felix was supposed to go home here. But
yeah, I do feel like there was a bit of confusion. I think it's when you say one thing and then they do the other thing, it was so much going on.
You think I would have done that quicker with my smooth balls?
Maybe you had to touch them up.
You're manscaping.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, my question was, did Shane mess this up?
Which part?
Voting out
Voting-
Tajon because he wanted Felix out. So I don't know. I'm a little confused why the numbers fell the way they did.
I was happy with how everything happened. So if Shane messed it up, that's the only good thing he's done this season.
I mean, it doesn't seem to have mattered too much for their games and how the other episode goes as well.
I mean,
so.
like, say it have like I just feel the order would have been reversed.
Yeah.
So potentially not.
I see Arjun says Phil convinced him to vote off Tajon.
There you go.
Okay. To flush the idol.
Yeah, that because he got spooked by the idol. So he told Killarney and Shane, he was just like, we got so, and it was only a self-preservation move because he wanted to be the only one with an idol.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so episode 19, it's day 31. Marian calls out Phil on telling Killarney to switch the vote to Tajon. And Phil says Marian and him have an ultimate final two alliance that we have not seen any proof of whatsoever, has not been mentioned in any confessional. We have not seen the two say this to one another. But he follows up with this information with, he's not honoring it. And then Marian says she's done with Phil, and we just this collection of back-to-back confessionals just saying, I'm done, I'm not with them, I'm not with them. And it's just like, this is the worst ultimate final two alliance I've ever seen.
It can only be Marian and Dino. Those are the only two people that are safe with each other.
It seems as such. I hope this doesn't change. So Shane explains the votes to Felix because Dino's a little worried. He's just like, oh man, if he figures out what the votes were, and Marian's like, I don't think he knows. I don't think he's going to figure it out. I don't think anyone's going to really talk about it. But thank you, Shane. You're there to talk about it. You're there to explain it exactly who voted for who, just to blow up everyone's spot for no reason. It doesn't even benefit Shane at this point. Oh, Shane. Shane does not like. Shane sucks. So this is where Shane explains he can beat Killarney with his final jury speech and possibly everyone else.
Possibly.
Very, very
Maybe
confident.
we'll see.
I feel he's on the bubble against Killarney. So Dino is going to let Shane and Killarney call all the shots as long as they're his shots. And I'm like, this is where you put your car in cruise control. If you're Dino and you're Marian, like let the other big time players shoot themselves in the foot and let the goats call the shots. As long as they're your shots, they're really not their shots, and no blood, no harm, no foul. So, but then of course Shane has to course correct because of course they screw this up. So Phil is ready to rid his shields of Dino and Felix, and I'm like, Phil, you can get rid of Felix. So it's now time for reward, and it's monkey fist, and then you get 20 sandbags. You got to catapult them and then trampoline them to targets for reward. And the reward is a shower, a massage, lunch wraps, and margaritas. And
great.
This I think out of all the rewards that have of food, this would have been mine.
Well, I won the resort reward on Pro Islands. And for those of you scoring at home, yes, I have the record for most rewards enjoyed by a single player in a single season in the history of Survivor in any country. And one of them was the resort reward. Massage, you would think would be wonderful. No. So I don't know how bad their bug bites are in South Africa, but in Panama, I remember one day counting just on one leg, I counted up to 200 bug bites. I stopped counting. I still didn't count them all. I was at 200.
Wow.
So massage sucked.
I was thinking you get pretty banged up in challenges, so I imagine they all have a bunch of little bruises all over their body too.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that maybe a massage wouldn't be the nicest.
No. I'm trying to it's basically So yeah. But the other stuff is good. Felix and of course they're in pairs. Felix and Phil win the reward. and everyone's pretty happy. It's just like, okay, the two people we need gone are not going to be here. We can all talk about it. And in case we were internally wondering as a group whether we really want to go after them, which we do, but just to reaffirm it, they're enjoying a reward. So now we really hate them, right?
Yep.
So,
It's like the brats are enjoying their massage and pedicures and food and margaritas, and we'll speak strategy on getting one of the two out
yeah, but
because we didn't like them.
But I didn't feel that they were enjoying this reward either, because the whole reward, Felix thinks Phil is off in his conversation, so he doesn't trust a word he's saying. And then Felix is like, Phil's like, I don't trust Felix. I'm just like, what a great tandem. And everyone's just like, they're inseparable. Look at them. They're enjoying massages together.
So this reward it reminded me of that movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where they both kind of like each other and they're smiling in front of each other, but they underneath the table, they don't know who's going to pull the trigger first.
Yeah. So, and this is essentially the sad end of the BS Alliance right here.
The No BS Alliance turned out to be BS.
Yeah, it ends with a toast.
I think it ends in the right way, though, like full of BS.
Yeah, that's true. So, next, Killarney knows that Marian and Shane need her and Dino, because Killarney and Dino, they're now running the show, because Dino had a 15-second conversation with Killarney in which he listened to her explaining that she was calling the shots, and he went with it.
Which is the best thing to do. It's just like, yeah, sure, great.
Sounds perfect. So,
is he her number one now? Like,
I think according to Killarney.
Yeah.
But Killarney will not answer that. I am shocked that Killarney didn't say in Tribal that Dino was her number one, just to ruin both their spots.
Wow.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over well if people like.
No.
Yeah.
So because like Dino's just like, man, like how could you even think about a number one? And it's just like, stop it, Dino. Correct answer, but stop it. So Killarney wants Phil out. It's like, okay, we'll see. And then Marian's like, hey, isn't that Phil's bag? Let me go through it. I'm like, oh, I am so anti going through bags, but I reconciled internally. I can do it. If everyone else is, I'm a fool if I don't. So it happens. Oh, guess what? There's his idol. But it's so pretty. It must be magical. There must be something extra to it. Oh no, he's got all the directions for it sitting there in his pocket. So don't worry. There's nothing magical. It's just an idol.
I just love this edit, like and the way Marian did it. So it was like they're sitting around their camp, and all of a sudden she just whips his bag out, starts looking through it, and then everyone's just like looking at Marian like, are you seriously going through the bag? She didn't even like pull it off to the side or go into the corner.
No,
she
just, like this is dirty, shady Marian that people that watched her last season wanted. And it's just like, oh, I'm here. So, but you can also love me.
Yeah, and I was all there.
Do you think anyone else would have done it if Marian wasn't like, let's do this?
I don't think so. So, yeah, I don't think so. I think Shane would have proposed it after Phil got back.
Yeah, Shane.
Yeah.
Shane's known for going through bags. Maybe he would have.
Yeah, but I think after the fact, he would have been like, you know what? We should have gone through Phil's bag. It was here the whole time.
Yeah. I'm also not super into like going through people's stuff, but at the same time, in a game like that, the more information you have, the like information is power. And
yeah. Well, as I said, if other people can do it and will do it, you're a fool if you don't do it. So I respect the integrity of the. It's just like, like let's play an honest game. That's a dishonest game. I'm just like, okay, am I stupid? I guess I'm stupid. So no. So I'm going through bags now.
But would you hide your idol in your bag with the paperwork and everything?
Never. I'm hiding everything. The only reason I'm either I should burn the paperwork, but there's a part of me that's like, I could sell this on eBay. And so that being the case, I'm probably hiding the idol and the paperwork two separate places. But I think I'm hiding both.
Speaking of going through bags, Santini, whose shirt I'm wearing, she's got an online shop called Kwaito Cook Sister. She was speaking about like when people go through bags, it was so clever how she said she puts her bra and her underwear on the very top. So when someone opens their bag and they see underwear, they feel guilty to go look through it.
Yeah, it's just like this is creepy. I'm a creepy person if I go through this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dirty underwear on top.
There you go.
Some
like
people
I saw she was wearing that yesterday. I'm not going through this bag.
Some people are into that. So you're telling me to go through your bag. So Arjun says social media was horrible towards Marian for this. It's really sad, almost as bad as what happened to Sam Gash. I never appreciate stuff like that. Personally attacking someone. I mean, it's a TV show. Yeah. If you found yourself in the same situation, you would probably do the same thing. Take a step back, and it's never like, you know, it's just like, yeah, that's horrible that they did that, and then they have a personal attack on top of that, and it's just like, oh, I'm sure that the person that types that is beyond beautiful. They're an 11 out of 10. They're the smartest person in the world, and they're financially like secure forever, and they've never made a bad decision in their entire lives, right?
That's yeah.
Or none of that's true. And Marian, at me on anyone that does this, and I will pick apart anything I can about them and destroy them.
At me too.
Here for that too.
Yeah.
So. You have an army.
Yeah. So let's do this. All right. Let's see. It's massage time, and then Phil and Felix get back, and so Marian's like, so what all's going on? And Phil says whatever he says, and Marian's like, oh, okay, well, let me give you lip service on everything you want to hear that's not true. Oh, Dino's going to the outpost? I didn't even know it was day 32. I completely forgot that Dino's going to the outpost. Yeah, all this is a lie. So Dino goes to the outpost on day 32. He wins a riverboat cruise. That's right. It's the Zambezi Queen. Not only that, he gets an extra vote that counts after the vote too, and he is now taking care of the first 3 days of his honeymoon. Congratulations, and a basket of fruit.
And a basket of fruit. I just love how this all ties in so well with his engagement to his fiance, because there's just so many cool, and there's so many nods as well. So Dino and his fiance, they really connect with penguins, because obviously you know how the male penguin finds like the most perfect pebble and he presents it to her, and they've got like that kind of penguin relationship. And Dino brought along with him those board shorts, and it's got penguins on it. So it's a nod for him and his fiance, which is super cool. And him getting the car firstly was great, because I mean, you won a car, and then not only did you win a car, but now you've you've found a save the date, which works so well because he's just proposed.
Yeah, it's literally a save the date.
Save the date. Then on the save the date, he goes to the outpost and gets this reward of this amazing trip to the Zambezi River and amazing stay and amazing food that's going to work so well for your honeymoon from when you get married. I was like, this season is just ridiculously insane.
Everything's coming out Millhouse for Dino. Dino, huge error right here. Huge. Dino goes, this is the perfect first 3 days of our honeymoon. Dino, shut up. It is your honeymoon. Why? You're done. You're trying to. I will say this. If I'm Dino, or if Dino is Jonny Fairplay and I win this, I'm contacting the Zambezi Queen and go, hey, I won this 3-day cruise thing. But look, it's my honeymoon. Can we bump this to 7? I'll put it all over my social media, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to pay you any more. I'm going to get all this for free. This is going to be great. If that's what Dino is saying, like, this is the first 3 days that I'm going to build upon and make it 7 and not pay for it. Yes. If that's not a possibility, that's 3 days is your honeymoon, Dino, and you're done and you're welcome. Friendly advice.
I mean, weddings are expensive, and I'm learning this, and it's painful. So I don't know, how do people afford a honeymoon on top of that? Like,
Yeah, just don't get married.
Go to Survivor and win rewards.
Just going. Yeah. All right, so it's episode 20. We're counting. We're getting to the finish line here. Dino comes back and says, "Hey, I got the family. I got the video with my fiance. I didn't get to talk to her, but I got a video, and I got this food, and most people are pretty cool with this. I think."
There was someone that was Felix.
I think Phil. Might have been Felix, but I think it was Phil. One of them was like, I think there might have been a little something more.
Yeah. And
But
that's a good thing to think of because it's getting so close to the end. It's like
it was Felix. It was Felix.
Okay. So, but still, it's. I think he came off pretty good. So, they don't know about the trip. I think essentially Dino has won. Dino has won South African Survivor as of right now. That car and that trip, yeah. That's pretty much 2 million rand, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's over 1 million rand. He's won a normal season of South African Survivor at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Dino, be happy. Actually, I mean, do we need to put all of our juju towards Marian because like Dino's kind of already won, and now let's let Marian. But Marian just got a honey deal.
And then there's also something called fan favorite that we've got going in South Africa that you can actually go on to.
Get a car too.
Yeah.
Is Dino still eligible for that? So, like, could he win 2 cars?
He could win 2 cars.
He better not win 2 cars.
I think he might win 2 cars.
I don't want him to win 2 cars.
I don't know. How is the response in South Africa about the players? Like, do people love Dino as much as we do, or?
Yeah, people love Dino. Dino is like all over social media. Dino, Phil, and Marian, I think, are the 3 that are going to probably win fan favorite.
But Marian, going through the bag, worked against her with some people and worked for her with others.
Yeah, I hope it's Marian.
Yeah,
I like her.
Well, I don't know. It just depends on who. I would like it. Like, let's say Dino has got everything he's got, and he essentially won. Marian wins. Phil gets the car. Is that win-win-win?
Fair. Yeah.
Sounds fair.
So, and then the next season of South African Survivor, or actually next season, let's have all newbies. The next season after that, 3 tribes with 3 captains: Marian, Phil, and Dino.
I'm so hoping for a new season, newbies.
Yeah. You like that? In 2 seasons? 2 seasons.
More of a chance for me to get in.
Yeah.
Have you applied?
I have not yet. But
what are you doing? Get off. Hey, hit me up. I'll tell you how to do your video.
Please do.
Okay. I'm good at that. And anyone else that would like me to help them with their video, become a patron. Go to realitypatron.com. And once you become a patron, you're added to the secret Facebook group, and then shoot me a message, and I'll watch your video and tell you everything that you're doing wrong. And I'm sure it's plenty, and I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. Anyway, so Marian informs us she has instituted the Boston Raw buddy system, and I'm like, what has happened in my world? Marian, I loved you, and the system works. It makes for horrible television if it's run across the board. Like on an individual basis, I have no problem with it. But given Boston Raw props, Marian, you're better than that. So anyway, all right. Dino also got advantage in the immunity challenge.
This puzzle.
Oh, that's what Dino told Phil, that he because Phil's like, there's something else, and he goes I also got an advantage because I got to play one part of the challenge. He goes, what is it? He goes, I can't really say, but I will say this: you're going to be good at it. So don't be upset.
This type of lie is the type that I can't do because there's too many like opportunities for follow-up questions
Oh, yeah.
where I just wouldn't know what the answer to.
Well,
or-
I thought he had the correct answer. It's just like,
he did
Trust-
really well, and I was very impressed because I was like, oh, I would have folded really fast, and it would have just.
yeah,
he would
what is
know.
it? Macrame. It's like, what? There's a macrame challenge?
But I think it's also, Dino said to Phil that it's something that he's not necessarily good at. So
he said, Dino said he wasn't good at it and that Phil would be just fine.
yeah.
And that's what Phil wanted to hear. Like if what he told Phil was true, and to follow it up with, and what it is I'm not good at, but you are, Phil's like, I'm good. Like, because if someone is suspicious and you tell them exactly what they want to hear, suspicion dissipates. It's just like, oh yeah. Like, say no more. You're not good at it and I am. We're fine. I believe you wholeheartedly. So yeah, well played, Dino. All right, so Phil and Felix can't win, or they have to turn on Killarney. And I'm like, Dino, no! Like, why? And then I'm like, no, why am I liking Killarney? What is happening in my world? Oh, let's just change it to final 3 and just let Killarney sit there. I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it's really final 2, but just let her sit there and give answers. Can we do that? That's fine.
In this challenge, I was surprised that Felix was the first through because he did have the biggest hole to dig.
He did. So
Good for him.
Yes.
He's fighting to get to the end.
Yeah,
He was in that time that he was there.
This challenge, it's for immunity. The ball into the chute, catch it, and then a 3D puzzle with balls, and in between that, you have to go through a log or bamboo or something. And Killarney and Marian are stuck on phase 1 the entire time. I do not want this to come off as sexist, and I could see where it could be. However, that first part of going through those ropes or whatever, and throwing the ball and then catching the ball afterwards, is so immensely more geared for a male than a female. I'm sorry, as I said, I don't mean it in a mean but that's facts. A male body is more prepared for that challenge.
And this is also one of those challenges where we see like some people just can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, either just not fast enough. Like, I don't know if I would be fast enough or not. But
well, I mean, think about all the concentration, balance, and everything in the world that's going into just throwing it up there if that's not your bag. And that's I don't care if you're a nerd, dude, you've still shot hoops. A lot of girls don't shoot hoops.
And the more you try to do it, the more you fail, the more tired you're going to get, the more you can't do it.
But even let's just say you get that, there's so much physically, mentally, all that combined just to get it up there, and then to program your brain to do something completely different, focus, make it through that, and then jump and die. I don't know a lot of girls that can catch. You think throwing is easy? It's not. So I play softball. They put me in right field, so I can't screw up anything. But it's just like, hey, Johnny, throw it in. I'm like, oh, there's a million girls on this planet that can throw the ball better from right field than me. I promise you. Catching the ball, there's 2 million that can catch better than me. So this is not, I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah. This is guys, much more athletic guys, immensely more athletic guys than me, are physically and just life experience, everything, are more prepared for the first phase of this challenge, where I just thought it was just unfair. They didn't need the ropes in between.
Yeah. Isn't this the same challenge that Heather couldn't do on 41?
I don't remember if Heather.
It had something to do with her throwing above and then trying to catch it. I don't know.
Yes, I remember now. Yeah,
I know the Golden God does it at the end of Australian All Stars, and first try, here's how greatness looks. It's just like, hey, Golden God, we love you.
I just love, before the challenge, Dino was telling everyone, okay, guys, listen, we just can't let Felix or Phil win immunity. We cannot let them. And then the challenge comes up. He's the only one that's gone through, and he's busy doing the puzzle, and the other people are trying to.
Yeah.
Not working.
Okay, so they have to dig through the thing. Phil does have the biggest hole to dig. Dino's hole needs to be just as big as Felix's, if not bigger, because his legs are so long.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the butt; it's also those long. Like Dino appears to be a very tall dude.
He's actually pretty tall.
Yeah, like what do you like in American? Like 6?
Yeah,
I'd say about like 5'9", 6 foot. I don't know, maybe
5'9" and 6 foot are completely different. I would guess over 6 feet.
Not that.
I don't
tall,
know how to. I should know how to do heights in meters because I live elsewhere. Like the whole rest of the world uses.
Karen, is this 12 inches?
12 inches.
Yeah.
I don't.
You haven't. You needed to have dated.
I don't think
more,
so.
But yeah, you
Awesome,
should
Karen, Jonny.
You should have dated more before you got. Guys would have told you this is 12 inches for years. All right. So the last part of the challenge was the pyramid ball puzzle, and a lot of survivors, U.S., Australia, all over, have actually taken balls or like olives and toothpicks and made this at home.
I thought Dino would get this in like 10 seconds.
I was shocked that Dino has not, because like I think some of that stuff, like Nick on Australian Survivor has memorized every single puzzle. He can do it blindfolded. He has a notebook, with all the solutions and all that. And I think that's amazing. I will never be that person. I don't have the time, and like, I think it's amazing. I think it's cool, but I'm just like, I feel like I do cooler stuff than learning that. So I'd rather be cool on that end. But I have literally done this with olives and toothpicks.
Okay, somebody in the comments said the combination of the balls was different than normal, and I was wondering that because it did look like it was potentially different pieces.
Okay, because we saw that on 41. Evie had she said she had practiced it
in like 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I did it because Evie did it. I was just like, oh, I think I saw it on her on her Instagram or something. I'm like, I can do that. I have olives and toothpicks.
Yeah, so maybe it was different, and maybe that's a question we can ask Dino, that had he practiced a similar one, and if he had, that would totally mess him up.
Yeah, Oded said, I don't remember them having 2 single balls in that puzzle. They did not. It was just combinations of 3, I think, that you used to make that. So, okay, well, that changes it. But at the same time, like, I feel like, I think Phil has potentially done this before and I think he knew the basic structure to do that. And that's why I think he was just doing that and then just pushing the other balls in there to make it work, because that's essentially what he was doing. He was just like, I know the secret to this, but these 2 extra balls. So let me just push enough. And if it holds, then I did it right. And I think that's all that really happened. Do I need to play the Manscaped commercial again while I talk about balls?
I was trying so hard to keep a straight face.
I know. All right, so Phil wins immunity, and Nico goes, Dino, I thought you were the puzzle master. And Dino says, I'm the puzzle fraud. I was like, wow. Gee, Dino,
I think it's better for Dino to lose this challenge, though, because had he completed that in 10 seconds after winning or going to the outpost and everything.
You don't want to follow up stuff like that with stuff like that. So
yeah.
So
especially when you've known as the puzzle master the whole time, and I've noticed Dino doesn't win all the puzzles, which is good, because then it's like, oh, Dino's not puzzle king. We're now focusing our attention on Phil. Phil's the challenge beast.
Yeah. So I think it's at this point Shane says he's going to let Dino do the work, and this elicited an eye roll. I'm just like, yeah. Shane, you send your minion Dino to go to go to work. We see the exhausting strategy sessions that the two of you have together with you calling all the shots. All right, Killarney is spitting out strategy to Marian. I'm just
Oh my God, Marian's face. She's like,
it doesn't end. Like, I'm just like, wow. Shane and Killarney, final two. Here we go. They've been running the game since day one. Day dot, as they say everywhere but here. Okay, so Dino is playing along with the No BS Alliance, but Felix doesn't trust Dino. And they get back to camp, and Phil dusts sand off his butt onto Felix. And I'm like, that is no way to show how much you love someone. Or maybe it is. I don't know how you guys do it. Is that a show of affection in South Africa? Dusting off sand on your butt onto someone's head?
No.
Okay, so there's no tradition there. Okay, I'm just checking. So Phil has very smooth, hairless legs.
Who?
Phil.
I didn't notice.
Because like Phil was standing above Felix, like rubbing the dust off his butt, and I was just like, that's an all right ass. Because like you see these hairless legs and like with these hairless tanned legs, and then like these little underwear and or like like boy short or boy underwear, and I was just like, oh, Phil, you son of a gun. Because he used the Lawnmower 4.0 promo code Survivor. Everybody join in. Oh, all right. So Phil wants so Dino asked for the idol so they can to guarantee the Felix vote out, and Phil's like, I'll do you one better than giving you the idol, Dino. I'm going to present it to you when Nico asks for it. When he says, do you want to play the auto? He's like, I want to walk up and do the, I want to play it for my good friend, Dino. And he's like, oh, this is not what I want. And I'm just, and in the confessionals, like Phil's just like, yeah, it's going to be this cool moment. I'm going to play it for my friend Dino. I'm still with Dino. I like Dino. Like everything I've said the past 3 episodes, I don't mean. And I'm just like, all right, it sounds like he's not going to screw over Dino. But if he screws over Dino, this is a horrible edit because we've got 0 clues here. And I don't like if he had changed his mind like right before Tribal, I need that confessional that he changed his mind right before Tribal.
That was something I was wondering. Should they even have showed us what Phil was thinking at all, and just let us be like, "Is he trying to?"
Yeah.
I could have lived with that. So, but because I was just
then
like,
that would have been like, I would have been more scared for Dino.
Yeah, I think the drama
been...
would have been So yeah, I think you're right. Just do not show a confessional of him addressing Dino at this point. So it's just, and us yell. It's just like, why don't we know what's happening? And just like, because you're not supposed to. That's good storytelling.
Blindside us.
Yes. So Marian's like, I'm gonna play a fake idol nullifier, and I'm just like, I am for it. Are you kidding me, girl? Fake idol nullifier t-shirts available at johnnyfairplay.com. I do have those. I do have hidden immunity idol t-shirts with an arrow pointing down to your manscaped balls, and also available at johnnyfairplay.com. So and as if Marian playing a fake idol nullifier isn't enough, Dino is here to inform us that Dodgy Dino is here, and I'm here for it.
Me too. I'm very excited for more of Dodgy Dino.
Yes. So time for Tribal. Lots of jury conversation. And at this point, I'm like, I like it because there's so many times in American Survivor and Australian Survivor in which you're like, I wonder what the jury is thinking. We have no clue what the jury is thinking as viewers. And it's just like, we know what the jury is thinking. I mean, as long as they're not interacting with the players, but we can kind of get a look as to their thoughts. I'm like,
Dante.
What's that?
Dante.
Oh, well, no, he ruins it.
Yeah.
So, but I thought them talking and the other players, not interacting with the other players, just talking amongst themselves and us hearing what they're thinking, I like.
Yeah, I hope that in the finale they do like they did in 42, where they kind of give us some confessionals from the jury.
Yeah.
Like before that. But do you think if Dina's in the finale, does Dante vote for him?
Never. Never.
Don't you
think he
think that
might.
he'll just be like, screw it, no one listen to me? There,
Nope.
all of you have your way.
Nope.
Dino,
I don't
like,
know. I think he might turn into like a champion for Dino.
No.
No?
No.
Like, I told you guys, and this is why.
This dude has a hard on for Dino. So, jeez. So, yeah, no.
I hope
Oh
we-
my
I hope we
God.
get to see it.
So I'm a bad guy wrestling commentator for this wrestling promotion in High Point, North Carolina. And it was like the first match. It was a 3-way dance. It was these 3 guys wrestling each other. And one of the guys was young. And so he's wearing like, the little tights. He won and he got a boner. like a semi. And then he goes out. He goes outside the ring, and he won. And he's like slapping people's hands. And the more he slaps hands, I guess the more excited he is about winning and people cheering him. And the boner gets bigger. I'm just like, oh my God, because there's kids. He's slapping kids' hands, and I'm just like, and out of nowhere, he just runs as fast as he can to the back, and I'm like, that's the move. You do not need to touch a kid's hand with a semi.
So should Dante wear?
Yes, when he's asking, when he's casting his vote, not for Dino in the final 2, and we get to see it go up just a little bit. I don't know how many millimeters that is.
Martian has a really good point here in the comments. He said Dante ended up voting for Rob B, and Rob was the Dino of season 7, at least for Dante, which is so true that I think of that right now.
But I think that potentially has haunted Dante.
That I was gonna say, he's probably thinking back, like, I told everyone to get Rob out. I told them, and then Rob wins.
Yeah, and so he's just like,
which he is right. Like, even as a viewer, the whole time, I'm like, why are they not voting this guy out?
Yeah. So now I think he goes, I'm not gonna contribute to this happening again. I will not vote Dino.
And I think Dante's gameplay is that he finds
Dante
the person.
Popping blue chews if Dino's voted out. Blue chew party of 1 for Dante.
I'm gonna send him the recipe for the smoothie. Maybe he'll use that one.
Yeah.
That's so true, because it's like Dante's in his season, he found the target. He found the strong target that everyone didn't see, and he was playing so hard to get the outcast to be with him, to vote out the strong person, and no one listened. And that's exactly what happened.
I feel like that if Dino is the winner of this season, though, he hasn't been dominant and obvious like Rob was.
Yeah, but it's
maybe Dino. Maybe Dante saw it coming, and then if Dino does win, then he was right again. But I think Dino is much. If he wins, I think he's even better player than Rob, because I think in most seasons Rob gets voted out.
Dante will also manscape if Dino doesn't win in his little speedo. So I am now following Rudolph Dante, and I messaged him just, hi Dante. This account can't receive your message because they don't allow new message requests from anyone.
Oh.
Sketchy outside of the game too.
Oh my God! Stop it, Rudolph Dante. So, did you listen to his podcast, or you just found it?
I just found it, but I have an episode downloaded because he interviews Dino like a while ago. So I'm like, I want to listen to that.
Oh wow! Okay. So listen to the jury conversation. It sounds like they all like Dino. I'm like, yes. And anyway, it's time to vote Felix and Killarney tie. And I'm just like, ooh, remember when Dino got that extra vote and they went out of their way ridiculously to explain that if there is a tie and with that extra vote, that that extra vote carries over? I think that's going to come into play right here. Because I got it, like I'm just like, okay, I'm like, that's cool. But they kind of beat it over our heads. But I feel like most people watching aren't us. And so they needed to have beat it over some people. Because I'm sure there's some people that are just like, I don't, like, even after all that, they're like, I don't get it. So to get most of the people, you do the this is very important that this vote has this extra power to carry over, blah blah blah. So I loved it. As I said, it was. I assumed it was going to come into play. Just as I said, just hey, listen to these words. So, but it was good. And there's a revote. The extra vote carries over. Felix is voted out, and I'm like, all right, because I told you guys last week I was very nervous. I told Dino this too. I'm just like, I'm very nervous when the No BS Alliance splits. I see Felix firing the first shot at Dino, and it was the other way because Dino's like, well, you never know. Keep watching.
I'm a little surprised Felix didn't try harder to gun for Dino, but I don't think it would have worked.
No,
anyway,
I think the stars were aligned. Everything that happened was going to happen. However, this butthead Dante then basically screams to the remaining players, hey, Marian, Shane, and Killarney, take out Dino and Phil.
Like, why is that allowed? Why is he doing it? Like, calm down.
You're out of the game, dude. Accept your fate. You're not good at Survivor. Don't ruin Survivor for the people that are good at it.
And I've never seen in Survivor South Africa had anyone ever made any contact before. And I've heard for Survivor South Africa that it is strict. You're not allowed to communicate. You're not allowed to. There's even to a certain degree of eye contact that you can't have with the people that are there.
Same with US, and as explained by Sam, same for Australian.
I imagine the producers probably had a chat with him after that.
Oh yeah. I would penalize him money. Like, it wouldn't be like, here's your one and only warning. It's just like, you know what? What you did was a blatant disregard for the rules and the spirit of the game. You're penalized 5,000 Rand, or, you know.
Yeah. Like, I don't think in this case that it's really going to make a difference, but it could. And like, he doesn't know that.
I'm hoping.
And it might.
As I said, he's explaining to the people. He's explaining to Dino's alliance,
right? And they already want to take out Phil anyway. So
yeah, and he didn't. Yeah, fortunately, he didn't over-specify Dino. He basically said those two, referring to Dino, because he's under the impression that Dino and Phil are still together.
Also, since it's coming from Dante and he's had this tunnel vision the whole time, it kind of might
sour grapes tunnel vision, Karen.
It might just kind of be brushed off, like, oh my God, Dante's just like still on this train, like.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, dude, get over it. Like, we have margaritas on the Ponderosa. Stop it. So yeah, but the good thing, and I know the game of Survivor pretty well, but I don't know this. Moving forward, we're at the final 5. No more advantages or idols. Is that the case in U.S. Survivor? That they end at 5?
I don't think
After
so.
5.
After
Some
5.
things expire at 6, but like final 5 is usually the last time.
Okay, so they can still play it one more in U.S.
Yeah,
Survivor.
like most idols are still good till 5. Which I kind of like them being done at 6.
I do too. As I said, I wasn't sure what the number was, and I'm like, I am so happy that final 5, we are playing the game of human chess, not production tricks, not,
twists and turns.
BS.
Especially in American Survivor with the fire making challenge at 4, like having idols up to 5 is too much.
Well, no, Karen, apologize to the viewers for saying that. The fire making challenge will never go away, so we can justify Ben being in the finals, even though he shouldn't have been for no reason. We're going to continue this facade that is done for forever because that was a good thing for the game, not for this one instance to protect Ben, but we won't admit that to anyone. Okay, will you apologize now?
No.
Okay, please don't. I mean, look. I don't think anyone's upset that Ben won.
No, but even when you're watching that season, you want Ben to win.
Yeah, so Just
I was there
own
for
it.
them.
Just own it. Just be like, hey, we tried this thing and we did it for 2 seasons. So I mean, so it wasn't just for Ben. Like we did it the season after that. Now stop it. Go back to Survivor. Like the game, like
The new era was the perfect opportunity.
yeah. So yeah, end at 6, and we see like Survivor in its purest form, the game of human chess. My mind versus your mind with a stupid physical thing in between. Let's see who wins. That's what Survivor. That's why people fell in love with Survivor. Not for fire making at 4, not for an idol be played at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Survivor South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So with that, So next week we will not be recording on Friday. We will be recording the following Monday. So
Okay.
So not next Friday. So we will have a winner next Thursday night. And then the following Monday, we will have the final 4 episodes, a recap the following Monday. So I am going to be in West Palm Beach, Florida, with several other U.S. survivors, and we're scuba diving. There'll be some amazing picks, and in the interim, become a patron. And once again, if you have questions that on how to make your audition tape, I answer. Like, I don't charge extra to watch your video and tell you what to do. I just tell you. So become a patron. I mean, there's a $5 tier that gets you all the links to South African Survivor. It also gets you our Australian coverage links and podcast after show podcast. So yeah, that's all at realitypatron.com. That's reality PATRON realitypatron.com, and or you can just go to adfreensfw.com, either one of those. But yeah, become a patron. I say this every time, and I thought that this would be really easy to do, but apparently it's almost impossible. So a lot of people listen. I would say the majority of the people listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you search Reality Space NSFW, or in the future, Reality After Show with Jonny Fairplay, if you search on Apple Podcasts, you go there, you're going to find the podcast. Click the subscribe button. That's easy. That's one click. But you can also rate and review the show. So I ask this every week. I'm just like, hey, honestly, guys, just take 5 seconds and just put 5 stars. Great show. That's it. 5 seconds. I checked before we went live today. There has been 1 review in a year. 1. Guys, 5 seconds. Do you love the podcast? 5 seconds. Click 5 stars. Great show. Done.
Do it.
All the reviews will just say 5 stars, great show. 5 stars, great show.
I don't care. It's an algorithm. It is it's the randomly perfect algorithm. All right. So with that, Tristan, Karen, I can't wait for the finale. It's going to be awesome. Do we have a winner pick? Let's do a winner pick. Like you can change
Dino.
if your winner
Dino.
pick has been eliminated, because mine has not. You can
All right,
change
switch
yours.
it.
Shameless.
I'm fully on the Dino train.
I'll stick with my secret winner pick. So I'm also with Dino.
Okay, Dino. I'm sticking with my pre-show pick because
That's a fair guess, I think.
yeah, and I'm going Marian. I feel like Dino's won. I really do. Like I feel the fairest way to do this and share the title of Sole Survivor is Dino has won the game with all of his prizes. Marian gets the money and Phil gets the fan vote car.
Yeah, just because Dino gets to, if he gets to the final 2, I don't think he automatically wins, especially if he's sitting next to Marian
Yeah, I don't think so either.
or Phil.
I think either one can really hit a home run with the final jury speech or really poop the bed.
Yep.
You never know. I mean, like as I said, like Sharn, she is paid. This is what she is paid to do for a living, and gave one of the worst final jury speeches I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wonder why? Nerves? Hunger?
Could be hunger. Yeah, I mean, you never know. There's so many
As
variables out
delusional
there.
as Tejon.
Yeah, she's Tajon. Sharn. When most people see Tajon's game, they think of Sharn. Very, very comparable gameplay there. So, all right. With that, we'll see you guys the Monday after next when we'll be talking finale. Click that subscribe button. Leave that 5-star review. You know you want to. Become a patron. And we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
And for more reality NSFW content, visit adfreensfw.com.